Okay, I will be the first to say it. So far in the NCAA 2016 college football season, my predictions have not really been going all that well, particularly when it comes to my upset specials, which have not been special at all because the first 2 weeks of the season I got both of them wrong. Well, anyway, it's week 3, and now is the time to sort of right the ship because now we know which teams, are legit and which teams are not legit. And we got some pretty interesting matchups. It's not like last weekend where it was just, squash after squash. So I'm just going to run down the line, give you my thoughts, and I swear I've been saying this every week, but next week I promise I'll be 100% certain we're actually going to get analytical. We're going to drill down into the big data and actually make some quasi-scientific predictions moving forward, seeing how I do. So moving on. All right, we're going to skip the Houston-Cincinnati game because it already happened. I mean, it's not really a prediction if you talk about something that's already occurred. The first game of the weekend, we got Baylor taking on Rice. In that game, it's a 65.5 point over-under. I say go over. Baylor is a 31-point favorite. Seems a little bit too high. Give them like 21-24. Rice is a terrible team. Baylor should have no problem winning this one. South Carolina State against Clemson. There's no line there, but I'm going to say keep it under 40. And I'm going to give Clemson this game by 5. I know that seems very, very low for a team taking on a really god-awful South Carolina State team, but you know what? Close games are becoming sort of the milieu of college football nowadays. The best game of the weekend, and honestly the best game we've had in college football in the season so far, Florida State against Louisville. Florida State, they're a 1.5 point favorite. The over-under is 68. I'm going to keep the under 68, and I'm going to go with, you ready for it? Take the points, go with Louisville in an upset. Lamar Jackson is just one of the craziest players we've seen in a long, long time. And I think the Cardinals get the upset, and that's really going to throw the national title discussion in disarray. But we'll see. I like the Cardinals. Whether or not they're the real deal, they can keep this going up throughout the season, we'll find out. Ohio against Tennessee. Tennessee's a 27.5 point favorite. Do not go that high for Tennessee for any reason. Keep it under 12, over under 57.5. I'm going to say under. It's going to be like a 34-20 kind of game. North Dakota State against Iowa. Should be pretty low scoring. I think Iowa wins it, probably like 24-3 or something like that. Over under. Let's keep it under 40. Georgia State against Wisconsin. Wisconsin's a 35 point favorite. The over under is 50. Georgia State's not going to score that many points. Let's give Wisconsin 2 touchdowns, 14 points, over under 50. Let's keep it under. Miami at Appalachian State. Now, we know what happens when you're a very highly touted team and you're playing in Boone, North Carolina. Bad things happen. Miami's been playing very well, but they've had problems, and I think it's going to happen. Over-under is 51.5 points. I'm going to say go over. Miami is a 3.5 point favorite. I say take the points and give them to Appalachian State. That is my upset special of the week. Go for it. Even bigger than Louisville against Florida, but then again, the spread's not as high, so that's why it's not the upset of the week. So Appalachian State, take them. Alabama against Ole Miss. Now this one is interesting. This is the one where you can get in trouble because traditionally the last 2 seasons, Ole Miss has been the Waterloo down in Oxford for Alabama because they just can't beat them for whatever reason. I mean, they rebounded and, went on to the playoffs regardless. But, just looking at Ole Miss, I think they got some defensive problems. I think they're good at airing the ball out, but they can't run. And I really, really, really like what Alabama's able to do with their passing game now. And, of course, their rush defense is just fantastic. Alabama's 11 point favorite. I'm going to lower that down to about 7 or 8. Over under 54.5. I say go with that. Keep it under. Colorado against Michigan. There's going to be a lot of points in this one. Michigan's a 19.5 point favorite, which sounds about right. I mean, they should win this one by that many points. Over under 56. I say go over. Oregon against Nebraska. 2 undefeated teams. I think Oregon wins their. Whoa, this is crazy because they haven't been in Lincoln So Nebraska is actually the 3-point favorite, over under 74. I am going to go with Oregon by 3 points in an upset, over under definitely going under 74. Texas A&M against Auburn. I mean, this is one of those things where Auburn is the 3.5-point favorite, over under 54.5. I'm gonna go with Texas A&M. I just don't think Auburn is all that together as a team. Trevor Knight, I think, is definitely a Heisman candidate kind of guy. He's going to rally the troops for a very close victory down in Jordan-Hare. Go with A&M, give them the 3-point special, and keep over under, I'm going to say above 54.5. Mississippi State against LSU. LSU's a 14-point favorite. It's in Tiger Stadium. It's hard to win in Baton Rouge. 44.5 points. Let's go under that, and I'll give LSU the 10-point spread. Not sure if I want to go 14, though. North Texas at Florida, don't even bother. 36.5. Florida seems way, way too high. Give them a 2-touchdown lead, over under 50. Let's go under. Michigan State against Notre Dame. I want to go with Michigan State to win this one. I know Notre Dame's an 8-point favorite, so maybe this should be an upset special because of the line. But yeah, I'm going to take the points and give them to Michigan State. I got them beat Notre Dame 50.5. I'm going to go with Michigan State to cover. And I'm going to go over 50.5. Texas State against Arkansas. Arkansas is a really, really good team making their way up the SEC West. Could be an upset team. Arkansas is a 31-point favorite. Well, let's dial it down to about 2 touchdowns, 14 points, 62 over under. Under. Georgia against Missouri. I think Georgia really has no excuse not to win this one. I think they win it, but 6.5 points is way too high for a road game in Columbia. 55 over under. Let's go under UJ. I'm going to go by 3 points. Ohio State and Oklahoma. Ohio State's the 1.5-point favorite playing in Oklahoma. 63.5 over under. I'm going to keep that under, and I got Ohio State winning by at least a touchdown. So I'm going to go with another upset there. Portland State and Washington. There's no official line, but I'm assuming Washington should win this one. Let's give them a 2-touchdown lead. Keep the over-under at 60, under 60. USC at Stanford, playing at Stanford. Stanford is the 8.5-point favorite. Yeah, they're going to win by that. That's no question. Actually, I might want to go a little bit higher. Let's give them a 14-point lead or a 10-point lead. 10-point lead at the absolute, earliest. Over-under 52.5. Let's slightly dial it over 52.5. In Texas and California. In Berkeley, Texas should win this one. They're 7-point favorites. I say give them the points. Over-under is 81. I'm going under. So, yeah, a lot of upsets here I'm calling. So, okay, just kind of recap. Got Baylor over Rice. I'm going with Clemson over South Carolina State. Louisville over Florida State. That could be my first major upset. Tennessee over Ohio. Iowa over North Dakota State. Wisconsin over Georgia State. Appalachian State over Miami, another big upset. Alabama over Ole Miss. Michigan over Colorado. Oregon slightly over Nebraska. A&M over Auburn, which is technically an upset. I've got LSU over Mississippi State. Florida over North Texas. And probably my biggest upset of the week, I'm calling it Michigan State over Notre Dame. I got Arkansas over Texas State. Georgia just barely over Missouri. Ohio State over Oklahoma. Washington over Portland State, Stanford over USC, and Texas over California. So once again, not a whole lot of surprises except for the upsets I picked, which will be right because I'm right beginning this week onward. And hope you put a lot of money on it. Not that I'd encourage that because we all know gambling on sports is illegal and wrong. You should be doing it in the stock market where there's less regulations and it's totally condoned by society for some reason. So anyway, those are my picks for week 3. Could be right, could be wrong, but I think history will reflect on me quite favorably because I'm probably going to be right. Probably.